summer before his senior year.
So you turned pro and enter the Long Beach Queen Mary Open. Was that your first event?
It was. I lost in the U.S. Amateur. I went back to Long Beach, and before school I wanted to play a little bit, so I went to this golf course. It was called Dorado. I drove up there, and there was some signs up there about a golf tournament, so I went in, and the gentleman I talked to was Larry Benson. Never forget Larry. And I asked him if I could play in the tournament as an amateur, and he goes, I'm sorry, we have a few amateur qualifyings, and they're already done, but if you want to play as a pro, you can. And we just laughed. And so this next day, he said, come out and we'll play. You can play with me in a practice round, which I thought was nice. So I played, and I went in and signed up as a pro. That's the story. Why? I can't even make up anything. I turned pro that practice round.
By accident?
Maybe the greatest thing I ever did,
yeah.
Maybe the worst thing I ever did. I know it was the greatest thing I ever did.
Yeah.
I won $1,800. I was paired with Mark O'Mara, and I called home Sunday night, and my dad hung up. And I went, wow. And the people I was staying with, they knew my parents very, very well. And they said, yeah, they've known all along. You know, they kept calling school. And so I called back, but my mom, she answered, and I talked to her for quite a while and explained, I didn't know what I'm doing, but I just won $1,800, and I just entered the tour school, which is another story. I borrowed the people's truck that I was staying with, the Jose's. I drove up and stayed in their truck and qualified.
How long
there.
after the Queen Mary Open?
It was, well, that would be in our off season, and then the tour school, I think, was in November.
Yeah.
And that was the first qualifying. Then I went to Fresno and played the second one.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark O'Mara again. His roommate had missed the cut, so then I went and stayed with him. But the first 3 or 4 days, I stayed in this truck, shaved in the clubhouse. I mean, it kind of a weird story, but at the time, I had no clue. If I didn't get my tour card, I'd be playing, you know, as a pro. But that's how it turned out.
First win on tour was the '83 Kemper Open at Congressional, right?
Yes.
And it was kind of strange. You were played in the last group, and it finished an hour behind the group in front. What was that about?
Well, I shot 77. T.C. Chin shot 76, and Scott Simpson shot 77 on 18 at Congressional, which is an unreal hole.
Yeah.
Drove it 100 miles down there and hit really a poor wedge, but I ended up having a 3.5 footer to tie. And I'm like, you know, am I more nervous about making this or shooting 77?
Well, another one under par.
And I made it to get in this playoff, and it was with Barry Jekyll and Dr. Gil Morgan.
Yeah.
And then the three of us, we all tied. And then I won on the second playoff hole, the par 3. I hit a 5-iron through about 2 feet. And if you watch the video, the putt did go in, because I have a trophy, but it barely went in. But that was the long, long day, and we all played for.
Yeah, I remember that run took so long. It was, the golf course was so tough. But Ben Wright.
Yeah, great line.
Great man.
Yeah, what did he say?
Yeah, he said, you know, they showed some ducks in the water. What did he say?
They were eggs at the beginning of the day.
Yeah.
It really, we finished an hour after the group in front of us. An hour.